Okay, let's look at motor skills. And before we do all of this, I'm just going to get your tuning together. I want you to know how to tune the bass. I want the bass to be in tune initially. So let's just get this side of things over with, how to tune the bass, what the open strings are. So starting with the bottom string, we have E. If you can tune to my bass, that's good. You may have a floor tuner, and you can tune to the floor tuner, or you may well be in tune. The next string we have is an A. The next string we have is a D. And the next string is a G. So that's all our open strings on a standard 4-string bass. E, A, D, G. Now, if you have a piano at home and it's tuned, you can tune to those notes on the piano. They're all a fourth apart, that's the interval. And it's good ear training for you to actually listen to the note and try and pitch up to it. Now, another good way of doing this is we play our bottom E string. Then we play the next note. Once we know our E string is in tune, we move 5 frets up on the E string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We fret that note and play it. And play the next string next to it, which is your open A string. So what we're actually doing is playing an A on your E string and playing it against the A next, and the two should sound the same. Now, if this string was slightly out, this is what it would sound like. Now, I don't know if you can hear this, but you can hear the oscillation or the movement of the strings against each other. It's like a wavering. Now, a good way of tuning up the bass is to hear these notes and lose this oscillation. Okay, that's one way of doing it. You can do this on the 5th string of your E string, play the open string next to it, 5th string on your A string, play the string next to it, should be the same 5th string on your D string. Play the note next to it. Okay, so that gets the bass in tune if we've only tuned up one string, and you can use your ear to do this. Another way of doing it is via harmonics. This is a slightly more tricky way of doing it, and this will be a little bit more of an advanced way, but I will show you how to do this. The same rule applies. You make sure your bottom string is in tune, and then you would pluck the 5th fret right above it with your finger and play something called a harmonic. And you get that note. They're very tricky to find, so initially at this stage again you may have a problem finding these. Then the string right next door to it, you play the 7th fret right above. And those harmonics are both the same technically. Play them together. Now this gives you free hands, as in you don't have to hold any notes down. So you can hear the two notes. Now if I was to tune one of these slightly out, you can really hear the oscillation or the movement of the notes against each other then. Now the way to hear it very clearly is to take the string right down and then bring it back up again. I don't know if you can hear that, hopefully you can. We end up with a slight variation. So with my hands free, I can drop the note down to underneath and then bring it back up again. This will get me closer to the note. Then I do exactly the same on the next string. 5th fret on the string we're working on, 7th on the one next to it. Then I do the same on the next. 5th fret, 7th. Effectively, my bass is then in tune. Now, I've shown you one very complicated way of tuning, and a fairly simple way, which is tuning against notes on the bass. You can tune against a piano. Try to develop your ear. Try to develop your ear to do this. Don't rely always on the foot pedals. It is very useful to have a little floor unit foot pedal or one of these little portable units, but you need to have the bass in the ballpark tuning-wise to get the best out of these anyway. If your bass is tuned right out and you haven't got a rough idea what octave it's in, you can end up tuning the bass just completely wrong. The E string could be up an octave. So you need to get into the right ballpark, and that's why it's good to develop your ear and listen to what you're playing and be able to hear these variations. And that is a training thing. It's all about learning to hear the difference between notes. Okay? So that's tuning out the way. Hopefully you've gathered all of that information. Now, let's look at the motor skills side of the bass playing.